Night falls over Bloodhaven like a dense, silent shroud, illuminated only by flickering neon signs and streetlights casting long shadows across the dark streets. Atop a power pole, balanced with the ease that only years of training can provide, stand Dick Grayson, Nightwing, and Sean Sang. The city's soft glow reflects in her eyes as the two share a kiss. Sean, once an aspiring supervillain, chose to leave behind her mask and secret identity. Now she faces life head-on, without hiding behind aliases or disguises. Dick watches her expression for a moment and, curious, asks what's on her mind. She hesitates for a second, then responds with something random, avoiding what she truly feels. He notices the evasiveness, but before he can press further, his communicator beeps. A police call not far from there. He has to go. Sean grabs his arm, asking him to wait a moment, but it's too late. In the blink of an eye, he's already disappearing across the city's rooftops, answering the call of duty. She stays behind, biting her lip, feeling a weight in her chest. There was something important she wanted to say, but now, it will have to wait. Meanwhile, at Titan's Tower, Damian Wayne, Robin, scrolls through his phone, his eyes fixed on the screen. Social media is buzzing with a new viral trend. Fans debating who should be Batman's successor. The discussion spreads worldwide, and his name is at the center of the conversation. But something catches his attention. Most people believe Nightwing is the natural heir to the mantle. With his pride wounded, he abruptly stands and walks over to the other heroes in the tower. With a serious expression, he asks directly, "Who do you think should be the next Batman?" The answer comes like a hammer blow. Everyone without exception says the same name, Nightwing. Damian feels his blood boil. His fists clench. He is Bruce Wayne's true son, the rightful heir, the one who has trained since birth to take his father's place. How could they even consider someone else? Without another word, he turns and leaves the room, anger burning inside him. Back in Bloodhaven, a robbery unfolds. The criminals are dressed unusually, each one wearing a horse mask, completely obscuring their faces. They are the Horsemen, a gang spreading chaos across the city. But they don't go unpunished for long. From the top of a building, a swift, precise silhouette moves through the night. Nightwing drops onto them like a shadow. The criminals try to fight back, but Dick moves with the grace of a circus performer. His strikes are fast, precise, almost theatrical. He flips through the air, dodging weapons, slipping past attacks effortlessly. When the last opponent hits the ground, he gives a slight bow as if ending a performance. But then, a figure emerges from the shadows. A hooded presence rushes at him. But someone blocks the attack. Damian. "Batman of Bloodhaven," he says with irony. The young Wayne glares at Nightwing with a defiant look. He asks if Nightwing is taking a vacation from the family. The tone is far from friendly. Dick says he's only needing some space. His phone rings. He answers, hearing Sean's hesitant voice on the other end. She reveals that she couldn't tell him earlier, but she had something important to say. Her period was really late. It had never happened before. She asks Dick to come to her apartment and bring a pregnancy test. Damian is still standing there, but Nightwing's mind is already miles away. However, Damian isn't done. "Do you think you can take the mantle from me? Think you can steal my legacy? I am the heir to the Wayne name, I am the son of the Bat." Dick, out of patience for this argument, acts fast. In one swift move, he knocks Damian to the ground. "You're a self-absorbed 13-year-old with raging hormones and all the patience of a kid on Christmas morning." He ends up asking Damian to meet him in his apartment in 1 hour, and then leaves. As he moves across the rooftops, his mind weighs heavy with thoughts he never imagined he'd have to face. The problem with sex, he thinks, is the bad part. That was always how I saw getting someone pregnant when I was a teenager. Of course I thought about it. But this isn't like me and Starfire messing around with our feelings and then freaking out at the thought of raising a half-alien baby at 17. Now I'm an adult. I'm a man. People my age have kids, right? I mean, obviously the situation wouldn't be the same, but I'm not that much younger than Batman when he had Damian. And he turned out, well, a bad example. He's a good kid, I love him. But I can't talk that far in the future. Arriving at Sean's apartment, something feels off. The window is open, but the lights are off. He steps inside cautiously, calling her name. Silence. His eyes scan the floor. A phone lies there. Not just any phone. Sean's phone. Each step echoes through the empty space. A growing unease builds in his gut. The place looks untouched, no signs of struggle. But then he sees something that makes his chest tighten. A painting. A single word written across it in fresh paint. Daddy? She was taken. Damien arrives moments later, assessing the scene. No signs of forced entry, he notes, looking at Dick, who appears shaken. The only clue is a book, his book with his favorite story, Robin Hood. Dick clenches his fists. Now of all times. Just when he was starting to feel like his life was finding solid ground. Something, or someone, had ripped her away from him. Nightwing doesn't waste time. He needs a lead. He goes after her and leaves Damien again. While he awaits, Damien notices something on the floor. A small box. He picks it up, turns it over in his hands and reads the words inside. Pregnancy test. Positive. Damien exhales sharply and shakes his head. Grayson, you fool. The clues lead to an unexpected destination. Behind the book, coordinates are scribbled. The location? Somewhere in France. Before Dick can leave, Damien appears again. I'm going with you, Richard. The boy brings out a classic Batmobile. Dick hesitates for a moment, then nods. Somewhere else. A man, with eerily familiar features very similar to Nightwing, appears. He smiles coldly and says, "A broken Nightwing needs a Deathwing." This was the story, folks. If you are curious to know what happens next, please don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss it. Please comment your thoughts below and thanks for watching. See you next time.